Hello and welcome to this webinar powered by ESA. If you are here, it's because you want to know everything about Erasmus Plus funding opportunities for your organization. You might be curious to know how it works and how to get funding for your next project. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Dominic from Confia International, and I am passionate about European projects in the field of education and youth. When I first got involved with Erasmus Plus, I was a volunteer at the Erasmus Student Network at my university, taking care of international students. Through my volunteer experience, I heard for the first time about this Erasmus Plus project I had no idea about, and I remember my first time writing one. It was in 2015 and I had almost no experience about it, so I started from scratch. I had no idea how Erasmus Plus project really worked, so I simply opened the program guide, which is like 300 pages long, and I started to read. With a bit of support from friends, I started to draft my first application, and I have to say I got a bit lucky because my first two projects were actually successful. And that's how I got hooked, and I started working more and more with Erasmus Plus as a youth leader, project manager, and more recently as an evaluator and as an advisor. And here I am today to help you create your own projects and apply for funding for your own organization. What I have learned from my past experiences is that youth organizations at the local and national level usually lack the understanding of all the opportunities offered by the European Union. I am doing these videos today because I want to give you the knowledge and tools that I wish I was given when I was a volunteer myself at my local NGO. If there is one message I want you to get out of these videos, is that Erasmus Plus opportunities are not rocket science. They do require a bit of time to prepare, but it's mostly based on common sense. And if you are more organized than I was for my first time, I'm pretty sure it will be much easier and you will get your first project funding in a couple of months. Shall we get started? What is Erasmus Plus? Erasmus Plus is the EU program for education, training, youth and sport. During this webinar, we will focus only on the youth dimension of the program. For the field of youth, Erasmus Plus is expected to benefit more than 500,000 young people, professionals or volunteer youth workers. At the heart of the Erasmus Plus youth program, you will discover some important concepts such as non-formal education, youth work and youth policy. Funding of youth activities can aim at improving the competencies and employability of young people, promote social inclusion, or foster improvement in youth work. But there are many other opportunities, and we will discover a bit more about that in the coming videos. Let me share my first tip with you today. There is a great online course that was created by Erasmus Plus about all the opportunities for youth organization. The videos are very well done, and I invite you to check them out before we proceed. For the youth exchanges, I invite you to watch the video 2.1 Discover what a youth exchange is. For the mobility of youth workers, I invite you to watch two videos. 4.1 Discover the mobility of youth workers, and 4.2 Explore the diverse forms of youth workers mobility projects. It is very important that you watch the two videos to better understand what the mobility of youth workers is about. And finally, for the structured dialogue, you should have a look at the video 5.1, Discover the KA3 Structured Dialogue Project. So your homework for this first week is to watch at least those 4 videos. There's plenty more. Of course, if you are thirsty for knowledge, you can look at all of them, and I encourage you to do so. But for the sake of this webinar, watch at least the 4 videos I mentioned earlier. Should you have any question after watching these videos, please write them down and we will address them during our final Q&A session that will take place by the end of the year. In the next video, what we will do is look even more in details about those opportunities. We will together debrief, try to understand the differences between all these type of projects, and try to find some concrete examples on how they can benefit your own organization. And later on, we will work on creating a quality application together. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining and see you next time.